Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. How are you doing? This is Mecca's Garden, Kitchen and Journey, where I share about growing my own food in my own garden and my allotment in the UK, and also healing with foods from chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia and pain. Your gut is one vital organ that we are learning more and more about today. And more research is showing that the way we treat our gut can actually affect our mental health and also our physical well-being. So this is something that is so important. If you are interested in your wellness, then I think you need to pay attention to how you can improve your gut health. This video should really make a difference if you pay attention. So a few years ago, I discovered these nuts. Actually, I didn't just discover them. So as a child, we had these nuts growing up. It was our high street snack. So this was like our candy on the streets at the school. We had them it was readily everywhere because it was a vegetable. It grew and it was naturally occurring. There were no ingredients in it. And this is the nut I am talking about. Have you ever seen them before? These are tiger nuts or truffle nuts. There are so many names for it. These are actually grown in Spain, but the major producers actually in the world are in West Africa. These are not nuts as we think they are. They're actually tubers. They are like legumes in the sense that, like the peanut, in the sense that they grow on the ground and they are harvested. They are harvested nice and moist, but then they dry quite easily into this texture. And so you can preserve them this way for such a long time. Now, how do you incorporate something like tiger nuts into your diet? Now, tiger nuts have been shown to have so many benefits. The number one thing I want to talk about today about tiger nuts are the prebiotic fiber. Now, when we're talking about gut health, we talk a lot about probiotics, adding more probiotics to your diet. Probiotics, things like sauerkraut. We have the purple and we have the white cabbage. Sauerkraut is really good for you because it has trillions of bacteria that can feed the good guys in your gut. The only problem with things like sauerkraut and other fermented foods that we can have there is one single thing. Back to the main problem. The main problem with fermented foods, although they are good, they are high probiotic foods, they have one problem. They have high histamine. Histamine can be a big problem for a lot of people, and that is why the rise in sales of antihistamines is at the peak. There's so many people that have troubles with histamine. It could be in the form of hay fever, in the form of eye watering, in the form of sneezing, in the form of hives, and histamine is a problem if you need or if you take probiotics. So how do we improve on our gut health when we can't tolerate probiotic rich foods? This is where prebiotic rich foods are good. Prebiotics are the starches that are mostly and more importantly resistant to being absorbed in our gut. They don't get digested. They just go through us and almost come out. However, before they do that, they feed the good guys. So our body doesn't absorb them. The starches do not get into our bodies as nutrients, but our guts see them as food. They feed the good guys in our guts, and that is where tiger nut comes in. Now, what the best way I incorporate tiger nuts, because this video is all over the place and this is not what I wanted to do. The best way I find I incorporate tiger nuts into my diet is in the form of tiger nut flour. So this is a flour just milled from whole tiger nuts. You can also make your tiger nut flour from the juice pulp. So I make tiger nut juice and this is the pulp. There is a huge difference in the texture. Let me show you. You see that difference? That is how it is. This is the one that is from the already extracted juice, and this is a whole tiger nut flour. This is full of the starch and this doesn't have the starch, but that's actually not a problem. You can enjoy your tiger nut flour both ways. It doesn't have to just be from the whole tiger nut pulp. Some people can't tolerate that amount of starch, so if you take this one that a lot of the milk has been extracted, you still have some prebiotic fiber resistant starch in there, and you also have the good fiber, the whole fibers that will go in and help and bind to all the sort of toxins and help eliminate them from your body, because fiber is so important. A recent research showed that just adding extra 5 grams of fiber to your diet on a daily can improve your lifespan by 14%. Did you know that? Just 5 grams of fiber, and that's about a tablespoon of fiber on a daily basis, would increase your life by about 15%. So who doesn't want to improve their lifespan? Fiber, to me, I believe, is the new king, not necessarily protein as everyone looks at it. So once again, I want to show and share with you how you can enjoy your tiger nut. I add it to my baked goods. I make milk, and I want to show you something. This is milk made from tiger nuts. Look, it has 2 layers. This is natural homemade milk. The only ingredients, tiger nuts and some dates. Although a pinch of salt. I have a recipe how I make tiger nut milk. If you want to learn, I'll put that back in the description box. Now, this is where the resistant starch I am talking about lays at the bottom. When it's solidified, it actually is quite thick and quite starchy. That is actually really important for your gut health. So when we are taking tiger nut as a milk, as a good plant milk replacement, it gives our gut the food it needs for good immune system, which is what our guts do, and also mental function. Try adding more resistant starches in the form of prebiotic fiber like tiger nuts to your diet, especially for those of you that suffer with histamine sensitivities. I am positive that you will notice a marked difference and improvement in your health when you do things like this. Anyway, have you enjoyed this video? Has this video added any value to you? If it has, guys, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also do not forget to share to your friends and loved ones. Like, these are superfoods. They are also known to be aphrodisiacs. Do you know that simple food like tiger nuts is an aphrodisiac? It could actually help boost the other room business. Actually, that is something that people have been known to use it for over the years. There are so many benefits. It's a good snack that can get your gut, your tummy filled up for longer and prevent you from snacking on the wrong things. It actually has a decent amount of sugar, but like I said once more, resistant starches. So not just sugars that will spike your insulin levels, because it's full of starch, and that starch acts as a buffer that reduces the spike in insulin. And I'll share with you recipes on how I use tiger nuts in my day-to-day life. Once again, I've shared the milk. I've shown you how you can make flour to add it to your baked goods. I substitute half and half for my normal flour and bake, and I have that lovely fibrous rich snack that is not going to spike my sugar levels and also going to keep me fuller for longer. And yes, once again, it's not just about probiotics. Now, I'm not talking about probiotic pills. Probiotic pills can be dangerous to you. It actually messed my gut up many years ago when I started taking it. But I wanted to improve my gut and I didn't know what to do. Having it in its natural form, like foods like, sauerkraut, kimchi, tempeh, ogiri, or the fermented locust beans, the Nigerian fermented locust beans, have been shown to have a higher concentration of bacteria. Although for people with histamine sensitivity, it could be counterproductive. So things that are higher in resistant starch that will feed the good guys are actually so important in improving your gut health and not just having probiotic rich foods. Anyway, have you enjoyed this video? Has it added any value to you? If it has, give us a thumbs up, please. And also let us know in the comment section what sort of resistant starches you use. Now, they say you reheat your pasta or your rice and it gives you good resistant starch. Guys, that is not a lot of resistant starch, and that is not a lot of fiber that your gut will benefit from as much as tiger nut. Tiger nut has 10 grams of fiber per 100 grams. That is 1/10 of it is pure fiber. That doesn't include all the resistant starches as well. So I think tiger nuts is a big unsung hero when it comes to gut health. Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comment section. Until next time, see you in another video. Don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe. Bye bye.